The Champions Trophy is coming up. So these are my predictions for Champions Trophy. We're going to go through every game, telling you who's winning which game, and then who the final is and who's going to be the big winner at the end. First game of Champions Trophy, we have New Zealand versus Pakistan. I am giving New Zealand the win here. I think New Zealand is a big dark horse in this tournament. Obviously, Pakistan, they are playing quite well at the moment, but New Zealand and Pakistan, they're really going to be fighting hard. It's going to be a really good game. I really think New Zealand is going to be able to beat them. They've won a couple of games against them recently in the past couple of months, so I'm giving it to New Zealand. Game 1. India versus Bangladesh, giving it to India, obviously, even without Bumrah. Afghanistan, South Africa, Game 3. That is going to Afghanistan. Australia versus England. England over Australia, because like I said earlier in the podcast, if you guys missed it, I'm not allowed to talk about Australian cricket without criticizing them. Cricket Australia came after me. They sanctioned me with 33 copyright strikes, but I am allowed to criticize them. That is part of copyright law. I can criticize them. Australian cricket team is doing a terrible job in their selections. They're playing terrible. They just got smashed by Sri Lanka in the ODIs. Nothing without Mitchell Starc. I think Mitchell Starc is the GOAT of the shorter form cricket when it comes to bowling and breaking partnerships. Game 5, India versus Pakistan, giving the win to India over there. This game will be played not in Pakistan. It'll be played over in Dubai, but I still think India will beat Pakistan. That is going to be one of the biggest games ever. There's going to be one of the most viewed sporting events ever. I would not be surprised if they get close to 500 million, 500 million views for that game. New Zealand versus Bangladesh, we're giving the win to New Zealand. South Africa versus Australia, giving the win to South Africa. I think South Africa are a really good side. Bavuma at top of the order is doing very well. He had an unfortunate run out the other day. I think Australia, like I said, are absolute trash. They're nothing without Starc. Batting is terrible. I can only criticize them. I can't say good things about them. So South Africa is going to, it's the first time ever in my life I will ever be cheering for South Africa. If you guys followed my coverage during the World Cup, I was adamant that South Africa would not win the World Cup, and South Africa was getting through on tight chances and lucky escapes and weren't going to win the World Cup, and that came true. I was really hoping that Team USA could knock them off, that they became very, very close but didn't. But I say South Africa beats Australia. Game 8, Afghanistan over England. I believe England, for some reason, is not playing good ODI cricket right now. They've just got whitewashed pretty much by India. India is just taking them to the cleaners. I'm not sure what's going on there. But like I said, Afghanistan playing very good cricket right now. I think they knocked over England. Pakistan versus Bangladesh, Game 9. Pakistan beat Bangladesh. I don't see Bangladesh winning a game here. Afghanistan versus Australia. I have Afghanistan beating Australia again, just like they did during the T20 World Cup. Mitchell Starc will not be there in the team. Therefore, they're not going to be able to get out the two openers. Therefore, the Afghanistan are going to put on a lot of runs. I want to see a big 350 total from Afghanistan batting first against Australia. That's what I'd love to see. If Australia bats first, I'm going to see Rashid Khan. I want to see him take 5-6 wickets. I want to see him absolutely decimate the Australian lineup. The Australians can't play spin. They can't play anything. Afghanistan will roll through them. At this point, it looks like Australia doesn't even win a game. South Africa versus England, I give that to South Africa. I said South Africa is playing very well. They've just had a couple of close losses. They've been able to put up some big scores, but haven't really been able to seal the deal with their bowling in the death. The hottest take of the whole tournament is New Zealand will beat India. New Zealand will beat India. This is the hottest take of the tournament. My prediction, my big prediction for this tournament. I know people aren't going to like this take. It's a hot take. My big prediction is New Zealand win over India in the 12th round or the 12th game. How the standings would look at this point. It would mean that in Group A, I have New Zealand winning all 3 games. I have India going 2-1. Losing to New Zealand, and I have Pakistan going 1-2, and I have Bangladesh going 0-3. So moving on will be New Zealand and India from Group A. In Group B, I have Afghanistan winning 3 games, no losses. I have South Africa going 2-1. England goes 1-2. Australia going to lose all their games because I'm going to be cheering against Australia. We'll never be cheering for Australia again. We're going only criticizing Australia. Afghanistan and South Africa moving forward from Group B, which I believe that would set up New Zealand versus South Africa and Afghanistan versus India. So another Afghanistan versus India semifinal. I think India probably beats Afghanistan. So that, and then India would go to the final, and then New Zealand versus South Africa. New Zealand has beaten South Africa in the recent series, so I think New Zealand actually beats South Africa, putting together a New Zealand-India final. in Abu Dhabi or Dubai, wherever it's going to be held. That is my prediction of the final. And who's going to win? I think New Zealand can win. I think I've already picked New Zealand to beat India in round 12. Even if New Zealand doesn't beat India in round 12, it probably means they're going to go up against Afghanistan. I think Afghanistan versus New Zealand could... if Afghanistan versus New Zealand, I may have to go for Afghanistan. I may think Afghanistan might win. That's going to be tight. But I think the way that I predicted it will end up being New Zealand, India. New Zealand to win.
Full episode now available on YouTube and Spotify.